Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika, my weekly beady broadcast. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways of working with trillion triangle glass cabochons. But before I would start, let's see if you can hear me, if you can see me well. Please let me know in a comment. I see a Facebook user friend saying hello. I see Corinne and Cindy saying good morning, and Sherry is here. Wonderful. You can watch today's video in real time, real life from the Beading School Facebook Club, from the Beading School Facebook page, from the Beading School YouTube channel, even my private profile. And later, all the recordings stay online, so don't worry if you will want to go back to the video one more time later, or if you sometimes can't make it in real time, even if that's the best because we spend time together really, then you can always find the recordings and just absorb all the beady knowledge later. I see also Lita and Shelley and Antoinette and Katja, Susan, Irene, Louise, Catherine, Rachel, Kathy, Schnipsy Schnips, Elena, Nancy is here, Molly, Joyce, Terry, Jennifer. Wonderful. I also see a bunch of Facebook user friends. And if you haven't heard your name, then it's because I don't see your name. If you are watching from the Beading School Facebook Club, which is a closed, safe space on the internet, then it means that without permission, no one, not even my clever broadcasting program that helps me to show you pictures, show you my hand camera, and so on, or invite a guest. So no one, not even my broadcasting program, can see what's going on in the Beading School Facebook Club. So if you are watching from the club and you haven't heard your name and you want to give permission to my program, then what you need to do is open the description of the video, that is the text just above the video, and in the last sentence you will find a link. You can click on it and then afterwards it should be all right. The program doesn't do anything else, just shows me your name and your profile. Otherwise it's not affecting anything. And it might happen that you need to give it permission every week or every time when you are watching a video, but it takes only 2 seconds, so I hope that it's not too big of a problem. I also see in the meanwhile Jennifer and Jessica and Carol and Jill and Martha and Ellie and Joanna and Connie and Sarah saying hi. And Sarah, I did not see you before, but now I see you. So today we are going to look into working with trillion triangle cabochons. You received a bunch of these in your latest Beading School Academy team box. And the color that I have chosen for these cabochons, and that you also see on the picture in the MAEVE pendant, that is kind of the essence of the Syrens of the Northern Sea Beading School Academy team box for me. So I really hope that you love these beautiful components just as much as I do. I already saw many of you bezeling them on your own or using Vicky's tutorial. And today I would like to show you how I do it if I am using a metal claw with prongs. You can actually, why I really wanted to share this with you, because there is this basic bezel that we can do when we start with bezeling the cabochon with the claw, but we can also attach it in different ways to already existing beaded motifs without having to start a new thread. Sarah, I know that you have all your ears open when you hear something like this, because just as me, I know that you don't like starting a new thread for different parts of the motifs. So today, after I'm showing you the basic bezel, I will also share with you a gift that I was preparing for you yesterday and today, all you turquoise and fuchsia Beading School Academy students. So let's see. Now I'm going to switch to my hand camera and I'm going to talk a bit about this bezel. It is a bit different than my usual bezels, even with my usual bezels with metal claws. So I hope that you will enjoy beading this with me, and especially that you will use this many, many, many times in your own beadwork. First of all, I will switch, and then please let me know if you can still hear me and see me, because I'm always anxious a bit when there is this technical switch. So in a sec, you should be able to see my hand camera and still hear me. So please let me know if that's working. So here it is, one of the trillion triangles and a claw nest. They are not yet attached to each other. Shortly, I will also show you how to do that. Dear Marta, thank you so much for letting me know that the technical stuff is all right. And I would also like to greet Ariana and Claire and Elaine and Chelsea and Irina and Martika and Malia. Hello, ladies. Before I would start, I would like to show you the 3 examples of jewels from the newest Beading School Academy team box, where I included one of these beautiful cabochons. So this is the MAEVE pendant. And for me, it looks like as if these were fins. And then I also have this here, one of the shell beads. And thanks to all this greenish and super shiny glitter, this is kind of the essence of the box for me. So here I used 2 of these trillion cabochons, and they are directly connected to a square stitch bezeled chaton, both trillions having 2 connection points to the bezel. Irene is asking, how do you spell MAEVE? I don't see the tutorial. Dear Irene, the tutorial is not yet online. That's why you don't see it. The spelling is correct, by the way. When you have a question about the tutorials that we prepare for a specific Beading School Academy team box, then the best that you can do is to go back to the article on the Beading School blog, where we have all the material lists and all the photos. And once a tutorial is published, then the link will appear to the tutorial in the article. If it's not there, then it means that it was not published yet. But MAEVE is coming super soon, so you need only a little more patience to beat this with me. I used the trillion cabochon also in my Ula statement earring. The bezel is the same, and then I attached it at 2 points to the statement motif of Ula, and I also added a square stitch bezeled chaton rose to the top. So this also serves well as a connecting piece between different parts of your beadwork. If you like statement earrings just as much as I do, then this is another shape besides navets, for example, which can bring like a fresh look and more sparkle to your bigger pieces. By the way, if you like smaller earrings on the other hand, then I can also imagine this part, just the chaton rose and the trillion cabochon, as a separate earring. What do you think about that, ladies? These two colors, the trillion is more green, the chaton rose is more blue, it's the blue violet AB. I think also together they look so nice that I really like this. Susan says, oh, I love statement earrings. That makes the two of us, dear Susan. And hi, Sangeeta. And then Evie has a question. If we could not get the other tutorial, are we able to make this new pattern? Can you please specify, Evie, like this tutorial, which tutorial do you have on your mind? This tutorial, the ULA, it is available in the bead shop, so you can, anytime that you would like to get it, you can visit the Beading School bead shop and order it. The download the file will be available for you for directly to download after you finish checkout. And then I have one more jewel where I used the trillions. Actually, I have two more, but I don't see one of them at the moment. I will find a picture of that later. So I also used the trillion as a connecting piece in my Duana bracelet. I needed to add a bit to its length, so that's why I added a trillion in between one of the motifs and then in between the clasp. So this is how it looks like. This part with the clasp and the two trillions. It kind of reminds me of the shape of the MAEVE pendant. So it looks as a fin. And Gemma says, I also see it as a hanging piece from the earring, and that's how I used it in one of the motifs, the other Duana earring, but I forgot to prepare it for now, but you can find it in the blog post about the jewels from the Syrens of the Northern Sea box. So let's get started. I will tell you first what you will need to bead a bezel like this. So, of course, you will need a trillion triangle glass cabochon. I am using now the smaller version, the 12 millimeter one, but it also exists in the 17 millimeter version. You need a metal claw setting with prongs, and I will show you how you can easily join the two. The bezel itself, the seed bead part, it requires only two types of seed beads. Miyuki size 11 seed beads, and then Miyuki size 15 round seed beads. So these are the four things that you will need together. And Evie, I will thank you for specifying. I will return to other questions that do not concern the beading itself after I am done with the bezeling, and then I will get back to all kinds of general questions. Let's first of all attach the trillion cabochon to the metal claw. So first, I gently place it on top of the claw. It should not sink into the claw, but cover it completely, except the prongs, of course. So the edge of the cabochon sits on the edge of the prong. And then I have this beautiful spoon that I got as a gift from a beading friend, and I love using this for closing the prongs over cabochons. Since the backside of the spoon is rounded, then there is no risk that I would scratch the surface of the cabochon, and that's why I prefer this little spoon, and I don't do it with pliers as I used to do in the past. So I'm holding the cabochon with my thumb, and then just softly I push one of the prongs, I push the second prong, and I push the third prong, and that's it. So easy. In the past, actually during the Art Deco team of the Beading School Academy, we had a whole coffee time with Erika when I was talking about clothes settings, and I just posted the link to that old coffee time, let's say retro coffee time with Erika about clothes settings to the comment field, so you can look it up later after today's coffee time with Erika. By the way, just a little trick about the clothes settings that I want to make sure to share with you, that once you are done with the jewel and you change your mind about the color of the cabochon that you have used, then with a thin knife you can actually open the prongs again. You can do it like several more times without breaking the prongs, but you need to be careful. So you can open the prongs with a thin knife and change the cabochon if you would like to do that. But back to bezeling today. I have also prepared some illustrations for you. So you have my hand camera and you have my illustrations too. So no matter which way you like absorbing beading knowledge, I prepared for you both ways. So this is the cabochon set into the close setting. And then I will add the first beads. So first of all, I need to take a look at the orientation of the holes of the cabochons. So there is this where I can push my needle through the cabochon, and then a parallel hole. And I will hold the cabochon this way. So at the bottom part, I should see two holes in the claw nest, and on the left side and the right side, I should be one and one towards the top of the claw setting. At the bottom, two. I start by picking up a Miyuki Delica size 11, and I push my needle up through the right side hole. I pick up one more Miyuki Delica, and then I bead down right away. I bead one more time through the first Delica that I have added. And when I pull my thread, then what I have here is one Delica under and one Delica on top of the claw setting. I start the trillion bezel in a bit unusual way. Instead of adding parts of the bezel right away between two holes, first I am anchoring Miyuki Delicas to the holes, because in my experience this gives more stability to the base of the bezel. It can be done the usual way too, and I actually strongly recommend you to start to try both ways, because this is also a personal thing in beading. You might prefer something else than I do, and it's nice to try different things. To make this anchoring even stronger, I simply repeat the thread path. So again, I push my needle up through the hole of the trillion triangle. I bead through the delica on top of the claw nest. I bead down again, and then I bead through the first delica that I have added from the right to the left. So 2 beads are secure now around the trillion triangle. And let's see what's happening in the next step. In the next step, I pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Miyuki Delica beads in size 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bead up through the left side, still open hole of the trillion triangle. So there are altogether now 6 Miyuki Delicas at the bottom. The first one and the sixth one are anchored to the holes of the bezel. I'm now picking up a delica and then beading back, and there will be 4 beads in between the two. I bead it down now, and then I bead one more time through the delica on the left side. Now I have 2 delicas on top, 1 and 1, and 6 at the bottom. And to make this base stronger, I repeat the last part of the thread path. So I bead up through the trillion, I bead through the delica, down through the trillion, and again through this delica on the left side from right to left. So this is my base. Let's see what's happening in step 4. I will complete the, well, I usually say that circle of beads, but around the triangle we can't have a circle, so I complete the triangle of Miyuki Delicas around the trillion triangle cabochon. So first of all, I pick up 9 Miyuki Delicas, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm exiting this group of 6. With the 9 delicas on my needle, I bead through the delica on the top left side. I'm at the top now. Now I pick up 4 delicas. Oh, and ladies, for this part, the R15s are optional. I will talk about that later. So I have 4 delicas now, and then I bead down through the delica on the top right, the other anchor bead, and again I pick up a group of 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I bead through the whole group of 6 Miyuki Delica beads at the bottom, finishing in the Miyuki Delica that is anchored to the hole on the left side. Please let me know. I will adjust my camera a little bit. Now I have a strand of beads around my triangle, and please let me know if this was clear until this point, or if you have any questions. In the meanwhile, Rhonda has a good idea. She says, popsicle sticks are good for bending prongs and do not damage the stones in case you are uncomfortable using metal spoons. And that is indeed a good idea, Rhonda. Thank you so much for sharing it. Facebook user friend says it's absolutely clear. And in the meanwhile, Yosin joined us. Mary says, brilliant, my first row kept slipping off and I finally gave up. Can't wait to try this method. And Mary, so nice that you are mentioning the rows slipping down. I have one more trick for you for the end of the bezel, where I will show you how not to let the beads slip down from the edge of the claw nest. So stay with me. Claire has to go now. See you later, Claire. Gemma says it's crystal clear. Niti joined us. Cindy also. Okay, wonderful. Let's continue. So we have the strand of Miyuki Delicas all around the cabochon. And just to make it neater, I will now repeat the thread pass. We have two goals that we need to keep on mind when we are doing this bezel. And one of the goals is actually what Mary mentioned, so not to let the beads slip down on the edge of the cabochon. And the second goal is to make nice straight lines of beads just when we are doing a square stitch bezel, to make sure that the beads around the cabochon create a nice line without any gaps and so on. So I repeated now the thread path, and let's see step 6. So now this will be a little bit more time consuming part, when one by one I am adding Miyuki Delica beads with tiny square stitches all around the cabochon. So I'm exiting a Delica, I pick up the Delica, and I bead one more time through the one that I was exiting and the next one too. So picking up a Delica and then beading through two Delicas in the base circle, one before and one after the exit point of my thread. This can be actually done once you get a bit of practice pretty fast, as you can see, and it is important to keep good thread tension and to make sure that there are no gaps in between, no gaps left in between the beads. Helena also joined us in the meanwhile. Wonderful. While I am doing this, I will go back quickly to Evie's question. She was asking, I am not able to purchase the ULA. Will we be able to do any of the other projects with the bezeled trillions? The bezeled trillions can be used basically with anything else. If you are a Beading School Academy student, then the bracelet, which I showed you, this one, the Duana, that was the first signature jewel, and that is included in all our beading school academy memberships. So if you are yellow, turquoise, fuchsia beading school academy student, then that motif, that bracelet, or you can actually also make it into earrings. I have an earring variation too, or 2 earring variations that is available for you right away. And then the other one, Ula, is available for a purchase as a tutorial that you can purchase in the bead shop. And the trillions, you can always return to this, the trillion bezels themselves. You can always return to this video to watch the instructions again. And for our students, I also have a little added extra that I will reveal when I have finished this second bezel that I am working on today. And I also see Robin, she says, can't wait to try this. The trillions are so pretty. They are. I love this shape. Bit more unusual than our circles. And it's always nice to have a bit of fresh breathe on our bead mats too. I also see Loretta and Tony and Donna. Good to see you all, ladies. And as you can see, I am nearly done with adding delicas around the claw nest. Gemma is asking for the number of delicas around the 17 millimeter one. I did not do that yet. You can do it in the same way. I didn't do it yet. But the theory is exactly the same as for this. So it's easy to adjust the numbers. A beading friend is asking if this is the same way as swallowtail. She says, I loved that one. Indeed, the way how I am adding the beads, that's identical to swallowtail, but in that we were joining actually 4 cabochons right away. So that was a bit more tricky. This will be very, very easy for you if you have done swallowtail with me. So I have all the beads in the second row of the Miyuki Delicas, as you can see. But I will do now something, and then only one row will be visible. So now I turn to the opposite direction. I was progressing until now from clockwise, and I will now turn anti-clockwise, and I bead through all the newly added beads. Around the cabochon. I started with the very first one that I have added, and now I'm beading all around counterclockwise through the new beads from the previous step. Once I pull them nicely, then you will see, since the number of Miyuki delicas is identical in the two rows, then you will see that the beads that I have added in step 6, they will sit directly on top of the first row. So when I am looking at them from the top, then only one row is visible. When I'm turning it slightly, then I see 2 rows, but from the top, from the bottom, only one row will be visible. It's a good number, by the way, because now there are 27 Miyuki Delica beads around your cabochon. So every side of the trillion has 9 Miyuki Delicas, and it's a super good number to work with if you want to make a bigger jewel. But there is something important still to do. First of all, again, when we want to create these nice straight lines, same as with our square stitch bezels with round stones like the tiny one here on the top, the key to creating nice lines is filling the holes and repeating thread passes, not necessarily pulling the beads as close to each other as possible, instead filling the holes so the beads don't wiggle around anymore. So I'm repeating the thread pass one more time. So you can see that the line around the trillion is getting actually nicer and nicer. And then there is a third repetition, but with a slight modification. And this one is the trick not to let the beads slide down on the sides of the trillion cabochons. Oh, 10, Catherine, you are right. She says, I count 10 delicas per side. You are right. Indeed. But now, what I'm going to do is that I want to attach pairs of Miyuki delicas to the prongs themselves. So here you have a little gap between the two delicas, so you know that this is the corner. And then there are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, indeed 10 Miyuki Delica beads. I will attach the middle 2 to the prong, so I know that I need to bead first through 6 Miyuki Delica beads. The first four Miyuki Delica beads will not be attached to the prong. Then the next 2 exactly in the middle of the group of 10 will be attached, and the way to do it is to slightly pull the thread, and then with a gentle but with how do you say it, like a gentle but strong pull, you pull it under the prong, and you should hear a little when it happens. Then you know that it's actually the thread got actually under the cabochon, so it will not be visible here, not even a tiny bit. And then I bead one more time through these 2, and then 4 more that are not attached. And then again I bead through 6 Miyuki Delica beads. Lita says, I love hearing that pop. These little pleasures of beadwork, right? I'm with you, Lita. And then again, I pull the thread under the prong. Again, it popped a little bit. And then I bead again through the 2 plus the 4 delicas. And then the third final side of the trillion I bead through 6, I pull my thread under the prong and I finish by beading through 6 beads. I mentioned an optional extra with round 15s, and this is what you can do at the corners of the trillion. So now where there is this tiny gap, I pick up around 15 and then I bead through the 10 beads in the top row to get to the second corner. Again, I pick up around 15. And Catherine says, just like payout snapping into place. Indeed. Oh, those are so nice moments, right? There is something very satisfying about that pop. And again, I'm filling in the third round 15 on the corner. So this is the result. So you can see I have nice straight lines. The beads will not slip down. So I'm super happy with this bezel. For comparison, I'm going to show you. This is how it looks like without the round 15 on the corner. And this is how it looks like with the round 15. I like it a lot more actually with the round 15. I did it later than finishing this pendant. So that's another proof that our beadwork is continuously evolving, and that's completely all right. I'm thinking actually about beading a matching pair of earrings to my MAEVE pendant. The pendant itself, it consists of an 8mm chaton, 2 trillions, a shell, and a bail. So I could also add the same shell beads at the bottom of the trillion, but you know how much I love gloss drops in metal settings, and actually that would also be super nice when I was selecting some from my stash. Then I found that the long one, the 8x32mm ones, looks really nice together with the 12mm bezel, I think. Then the fan drop would also be a good choice that I recommend, because it's kind of mirroring the shape of the cabochon. So I think that they look really nice together. And in case that you like more classic shapes and smaller earrings, then I think that this smaller pear drop also looks nice together with the trillion. So that was my demonstration, and I hope that you like it. And I know that how much you love printing instructions, not only watching videos. And that's why I also created a PDF that you can follow for this lesson. Actually, it is the complete MAEVE pendant. Not only the trillion bezel, but the complete MAEVE pendant, and it has 3 parts. The first part explains to you how to bead the trillion bezel on its own in the identical way to how I did it today, starting from scratch, but it has 2 more parts. One part is explaining to you how to attach a trillion with 2 connection points to a beaded motif like the bezel here, without having to add the new thread. And then the third part, it shows you how to add a trillion when you have 1 connection point like this. So I'm sure that it will be super helpful to you. And if I scheduled it in the beading school bead shop, well, let's see. Then it should already be there waiting for you. And the tutorial is a gift for all our turquoise and fuchsia beading school academy students for the Syrens of the Northern Sea theme box. And indeed, it's there. So if you visit the new in the bead shop part, then you can already download the tutorial. If you log into your account and you are a fuchsia or turquoise student, then the price will automatically get reduced to 0. As you can see, there are also new colors of the trillions waiting for you. And I have a very, very important information to share with you. And I want to share it as fast as I can. So there are also other ways of using the trillion cabochons, not only my way of bezeling. My friend and colleague Veronka also created a different type of bezel. She calls this jewel the Moon Sea. It's super sparkly with bicons, mini diamond duos, and preciosa suwon rhinestones on top of the trillion. And she just finished writing the tutorial, and it can also be your gift if you place an order at the beading school bead shop before next week's coffee time with Erika for €45, $50, or £39. Next week we will have coffee time with Erika on Wednesday instead of Tuesday, and that's also the deadline if you would like to get Veronka's gift. We will send it to everyone at once on Thursday morning, so that's when you can await the tutorial. We also have more creative ladies in the team, and you might have noticed that I didn't show you yet what is going to be the topic of this week's No One Has to Be the Lone class or usual Friday open workshop. Lovely ladies, who can tell me that who is the designer of this beautiful pair of earrings? I'm waiting for your answer. I'm pretty sure that you can tell me who is the creator of this beauty with the intricate thread passes, with another way of bezeling the trillion. And Irina has the answer. It's Ruxandra. So this week on Friday, we will have an offline No One Has to Be the Lone class. So it means that at the designated time, always the same time, we will have a tutorial waiting for you. This time Ruxandra's Melusina. But there won't be a live video. You can all download the tutorial as a gift for 3 days starting on Friday, and then bead together, post in the Facebook club, post in the virtual classroom to share your progress, share your colors, share your beautiful jewels with each other. So you have actually 3 new ways of using the trillions: the MAEVE, which is my gift to all turquoise and fuchsia beading school academy members for the current team; then Ruxandra's Melusina, can be downloaded from Friday to Monday. That is going to be the No One Has to Be Alone class. And if you would like to have Veronka's Moonsea, then that can be yours as a gift with a purchase, as I explained before. And Rachel is asking, is the MAEVE pendant tutorial that is offered to fuchsia students? Dear Rachel, the MAEVE is an added extra that was not like if you mean the second signature tutorial, because we say that turquoise and yellow students have one gift tutorial included in the membership and fuchsia students have two, then this time actually it will be 3 for fuchsia students and 2 for turquoise, because the fuchsia second signature pattern is the super pretty one with the filigree. So this is an unexpected extra on top of everything. And Rachel, if you have a technical problem that it's not 0 for some reason, then I apologize for it. Please send us an email to info@beadingschool.com and we can look into it and correct it for you. I had here a question also from Ariana. She says, I have another question about the virtual classroom. Is it just me or is it a bit jumbled up? Some classes are doubled. I cannot read the mermaids in Celtic mythology and the mini challenge. Ariana, can you please take a screenshot and send it to us? It might happen that you saw the virtual classroom when one of us was working with it, and then it can be a bit jumbled up, but it should be all right now. But please, if you still see some problem, please take a screenshot and send it to us, and then we will correct it right away. And Maria also saw them as double. I will look into it, ladies. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you had fun and you will use the trillion cabochons in your beadwork many, many, many times. I wanted to show you the new section in the bead shop. And as you can see, besides the MAEVE pendant, you also have here the trillion cabochons now in many different colors, including bundles, both the 12 and the 17 millimeter size. Shiny colors and some of the basic collections like the Red Siam, and from last week also some mini duos, for example, also in bead bundles that you can use in Veronka's Moonsea. Lita and Gemma are asking for the basis for the cabochons, so I would love to show where you can find them. You can go on the glass cabochon settings, and then here we have a separate category for clothes for metal cabochons. So here are the 17 millimeter trillion bases in gold and silver color, and the 12 millimeter clothes also in gold and silver color. And Joyce is asking, do patterns count towards the total or just merchandise for the gift? Dear Joyce, this time tutorials and merchandise count too. Last week it was only for orders requiring shipping because we had a physical gift that we needed to pack into an order. But since this time this is a bonus that can be digitally delivered, then everything counts. So Catherine says, thank you for a lovely session, Erika. Have a beady week. And Sherry is here. Wonderful. So, lovelies, thank you again for your company today. And I can't wait to see your MAEVE pendants and your Melusine earrings. So don't forget, on Friday we won't meet for a video, but we are looking forward to beading with you Ruxandra's Melusine earrings. Thank you so much, everyone, for your company, for your precious bead orders, for your presence in the Beading School Club. And I would like to wish you a peaceful, creative rest of the week, and see you next Wednesday for Coffee Time with Erika again. Bye bye, everyone.